Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's me. It's Brian. Well, the answer is simple. The final solution to gun control, if you want to look at it very simply and very pragmatically, is to embrace it. And by embracing it, what I mean is to embrace the culture of gun, which is here upon the universe, and simply carry on in a respectful manner the ability to pass along through the generations, through the children, how to operate a gun, how to clean it, how to take care of it. These things are inheritances from many generations back. Very few people even use guns. Many gun owners never even touch their guns, and if they do, it's in a controlled situation. Meanwhile, you're talking about taking away guns from everybody who essentially would then be powerless against what they fear to be the government. But meanwhile, so that's not an answer. So the true answer is to start very young, like most people used to do before gun control became such a thing, and then set a pattern throughout school and have the police involved and the rangers, and teach them how to hunt, teach them how to survive off the land, teach them how to operate a gun. Not that they get a gun. You don't need a gun. But if you become part of the Boy Scouts or something that goes beyond which allows guns, then there'll be guns which maybe you would have to use. But very unlikely. I mean, in this day and age with supermarkets, you don't need a gun. But you do, however, need to know how to operate a gun. If the power goes out for months on end, and you need to hunt. So it's not a terrible thing to have guns in existence. What is a terrible thing is ignorance, because ignorance breeds fear. So instead, let's start with children, let's start with adults, let's start with the police interacting with people and helping them understand guns, teach them how to use guns, and then we'll move from there. But really, otherwise you've created is a bunch of paranoid people who have guns, and the have-nots who are paranoid about things that they don't understand and they fear. But there's nothing to... I don't have a gun, but I don't need a gun. But I'm also not afraid of guns. Because, as I was thinking to myself earlier, you could take away all the guns, but ultimately, you can hit me in the head with a rock, or a branch, or a knife, or something, and kill me anyway. So what's the worry of whether we have no guns in the world? People will still find ways to kill you. What we need to figure ultimately and peacefully and beautifully is how to quench people's desire to kill. A gun is only as practical or as beautiful or as awesome or as interesting as we've made it out to be through fantasy films, and in the old days we did need it to hunt. But ultimately now, because we so fear our government and its ability to control, well, let's say financially and the things that you do, and people struggle with things like that because they want to stretch and go beyond and move in different directions with what the law can withhold or whatever. But for the most part, the old Yankee mentality of the original 13 colonies of America, a gun was just a practical thing to have around to protect yourself, even though you never really needed it, and then to hunt with occasionally. And so if you kept on that mentality and passed that along to the generations, and I mean, what we have to really face is that guns are for sale everywhere. And so why wouldn't you let people buy guns? And so then you're opening up the possibility of the fact that they possess guns. And so that's kind of a sad thing. It's like making a car that can go 160 miles an hour when the speed limit's 70. So we eventually will have to face those questions, but it should not be a deterrent to allowing a person to own a gun. or to possess a gun. But the deterrent would ultimately be in possessing many guns in some strange sense, or bringing your guns to town would be that you've been trained by the police and by the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and your local church and all these other things to respect, and your school and your friends, and someday we might not need them. I mean, if the dinosaurs come back, that's why I think we essentially made them, aside from wanting to destroy each other, was that there are animals on Earth like tigers and lions and bears that can eat us. So anyway, that's my little speech on that. If you want to create the solution, just do it. Take it to your local towns and say, well, this is what we need to do. Make everybody respect the gun, aware of the gun, able to use the gun, not anything more than that. Respect. So respect each other, and everyone, in the name of Jesus Christ, I bless you. Thank you. Bye.